Hey guys, welcome to another episode of Skol Chat. This is the Divisional playoff review of the Minnesota Vikings versus the New Orleans Saints. Final score Vikings 29, Saints 24. And what can I say? Usually moments like those go against us almost every single time. We find a way to choke it up and the other team pulls out a miraculous win. We didn't play well yesterday at all in the second half. And honestly, I don't think we deserved to win that game with the way we played in the second half. If New Orleans was even halfway decent in the first half, this would have been an absolute blowout. And, I just want to hats off to the Saints. They fought back. They got one of the best quarterbacks I've ever seen in my life, Drew Brees. And I even said that in my preview video. The Saints are a really good team, and they showed it. They have a fantastic offense. And the last play of the game, what can I say? I was sitting on the couch, and both me and my fiance were we had looks of this we're just trying to deal with the loss. Like, everything was going to be ending. And I see Keenum drop back. And all I'm thinking to myself is, okay, this is the last play we have to get into field goal range. And if we don't do anything here, then it's over. I see him throw that ball to Diggs. I see Diggs catch it, jump up in the air and catch it. And all that's going through my head is get out of bounds. Just get out of bounds. But as soon as he turned, put his hand on the ground, and got his feet again and ran, I fell on the floor. I never saw him run into the end zone live. I got up and I just ran over and hugged my fiance. I've never been a part of something like that. As Vikings fans, we are on the receiving end of those moments, getting kicked in the gut, aka Blair Walsh. But it was a long time coming, and it felt really good. And I can't lie, it was probably one of the best moments of my life. Seeing that team pull it out when all hope was lost. That team kept playing, and that is why I love this team. And that's why football games are 60 minutes long and not 59 minutes and 45 seconds. But let's go in depth. We'll break it down. I want to go back first to my original game notes that I had and see where things worked out for everything that I wanted to break down. So I thought the Vikings had 3 favorable matchups. Rhodes versus Thomas. That kind of came back to bite me. Thomas ended up having 7 catches for 85 yards and 2 touchdowns. Granted, not all of those were on Rhodes, but it seemed like the majority of the time Michael Thomas was beating Xavier Rhodes in the second half. And I think it's because Michael Thomas got in Xavier Rhodes' head. He was pretty bothered by that hit on Sendejo, which I can't lie. If the Saints are playing next week, I wouldn't be expecting Michael Thomas to play because that's a suspendable hit. He shouldn't have made that hit. Sendejo himself was suspended earlier in the year for a lot less. You easily see Michael Thomas raising his arm up under his chin. He didn't have to do that. He knew what he was doing. And but yeah, moving on. I thought another favorable matchup for McKinnon was for McKinnon versus the linebackers of the Saints. Once again, didn't see much of Jet. It's pretty disappointing because when he's in there, you could see that there's some sparks. We scored that first touchdown of the game on a sweep to him. And I really, really think he could be a bigger part of this offense if they would just give him the chance. And the other favorable matchup was the Vikings D-line versus the Saints offensive line. I say that was about equal. We got some sacks on Breeze. Breeze had tons of time sometimes. But we'll get into that more later. Three favorable Saints matchups, I thought. Kamara versus Kendricks. Yeah. I knew as soon as Kendricks was going out on Kamara, I knew exactly where they were going with that football. Breeze threw the perfect ball. Kendricks was not playing bad coverage, but I feel like if Barr was out there, we would have had a better chance to deflect that ball away. Kendricks kind of stumbled over his own feet in the end zone. Kamara caught it. Saints take the lead. It was a big play in the game. Big, big play. Next one was Cam Jordan versus Remmer/Hill. It ended up being Rashad Hill, and let's just say Cam Jordan had his way. Every single time Case Keenum dropped back in the second half, it seems like Cam Jordan was coming around the edge and getting in Keenum's face. Every single time. And I banked on it. Every time I was like, Case, just get out of Cam Jordan's way. Try to throw the ball. And the next matchup I had was Lattimore versus Diggs. As you can tell, there wasn't much talk about Marshawn Lattimore during the game, which is a shame because he's a heck of a talent. But when they're not calling your name, it's a good thing. Usually when they're calling your name, it's for a bad thing. And he had 2 penalties on one play, but of course you can only accept one of them. But that catch by Thielen was incredible. But I really feel like Diggs won that matchup. And 3 Vikings keys I had. We needed to make Breeze uncomfortable. We did in a way, but Breeze is just Breeze, and Breeze is an incredible quarterback, and it's just what he does. He had a great second half. He went complete 360 degrees from the first half. Incredible half by him to get his team back in the game. One we really failed at was hold them to field goals. They scored touchdowns. Touchdowns. And it hurt. The defense could not come up with the play to get them off the field in the red zone. And granted, this is with the Saints going 2 for 9 on third down, which is incredible. It's just that they didn't really get into that many third downs in the second half. They had, I think, 6 of those, or 5 or 6 of those third downs in the first half. So think into that as you will. And in order to win, I thought we needed to at least score 20 points. Guess we needed 25. We got 29, and we're moving on. 3 things that will ruin the Vikings. I thought the Saints' ground game, if it got going, really didn't bother me. We bundled it up. Saints kind of tossed it to the side once they got down 17-0. And I was worried that we weren't going to be able to beat their man coverage, but we had plays. We had the plays available. Case made the throws he needed to. And by all means, did Case play a great game? No. Did Case have a good game? No. He did enough. And sometimes that's all it takes. Special teams lapses. Big time. I truly believe that if we had gotten that punt off, it wasn't blocked, and we'd pinned them back 25-yard line, 20-yard line, the Saints would have gotten maybe a field goal. That momentum swing killed us. Absolutely killed us. We cannot afford any more special teams lapses. I can deal with a missed field goal. I cannot deal with a blocked punt. Not when it's one of the simplest plays in football. Granted, I know that the lot goes into a punt. I was on punt team. But at this level, you should be able to execute a punt every single time. If you see that there's going to be pressure somewhere, shift someone over to be able to block them. Or point it out, hey, I'm going to need help. Come help me on this guy. But that was a huge play in the game, and it almost lost us the game. It really almost lost us the game. Breeze's road record, don't really think it came into factor here. Just, he goes to 1-5 on the road. Not much to say there. The stadium was electric. I cannot say enough about the fans that went to the game. Hats off to you guys. If we get there in the Super Bowl, even if it's just a third of the stadium of just us, I can only imagine how loud it's going to be. But we got to get through Philadelphia first. And let's see. I thought Keenum really had to play within the game plan. He didn't do that in the second half. First half, he did okay. We should have got a touchdown on that second drive when we made it 10-0. I don't understand why we didn't run. We ran it on first down and then 2 passes. Why not throw in the second run? We were getting a push. It was a yard. We can't get a yard running the ball, then what use are we? That is my philosophy. If it's 3rd and 1, I'm throwing it or I'm running it every time. If I can't get a yard with my linemen, then there's a problem. Yeah, if I see a matchup, then I can audible to a play action pass. Yeah, that's great. But all this 3rd and 2, 3rd and 1, 3rd and 3, shotgun pass stuff, I just don't get it. Run the ball. Trust your offensive line. And at this rate in the NFL, I think that you're going to catch them off guard because no one does it anymore. Everybody throws. So why not break that trend? And, my final score prediction was 23-17 Vikings. Ended up being higher than that because I didn't even know if the Saints were going to get there at first. But I keep telling my fiance throughout the game, that the Saints were going to get theirs. It was only a matter of time. I did not expect this to shut the Saints out, like 17-0 at halftime. I knew the Saints were going to put some points up, but I didn't think that we would blow the lead. I thought that maybe we'd give up a touchdown or two. No way did I think that they'd get all the way up to 24 points. Not on Mike Zimmer's defense, but Zim even admitted he didn't have his best game in the second half. But thankfully, Sean Payton had a much worse second half because I guess his replays in the booth weren't working. They were all shut. They malfunctioned and they shut down. Everyone could be like, oh, the Vikings cheated. They blah, blah, blah. Stuff happens, guys. It's technology. Stuff happens. It's happened to the Vikings in the past where our iPads on the sideline shut down and we didn't have our iPads. It's technology and it can't be trusted that much. And then, all right, these are 3 things that I think we need to do this week in order to win. Just bland, blah, really vague. We need to blitz more. I love our front 4. I love Linval. I love Daniil. I love Tom Johnson and I love Everson, but they did not get the pressure that they needed to on Sunday. When we got our best pressure on Breeze, it's when we brought Smith or Barr. Just one. Just bring one of them. Bring 1 or 2. Bring one guy to take the running back and one guy to come around the outside. But we need to blitz a little bit more. Not go crazy with it, but at least show it. I feel like it was just 4-man rush, and there's Breeze hitting an out route. But next, too much Mandy. I want to see a little bit more zone on that 4th down. It was just man, the whole drive, and on the 4th and 10, Breeze knew it was going to be man because it's all we'd run. And Mackenzie Alexander got beat by Willie Snead. I don't understand how Mackenzie got beat there. I don't know why he feared getting beat inside. He had inside leverage. If anything, I would guess that he's going to try to break towards the sideline to catch the ball at the marker and try to get out of bounds. But it must not have gone through his head. He tried his best, and thankfully we won the game. But that was a big play where the game would have been over right there. Over, but we couldn't get the stop. And we need better special teams. It's just the way it goes. We need special teams to play better. We need to be able to punt reliably. I feel bad for Ryan Quigley because he finally had a touchback. And it should have been stopped at the 1, but Curse couldn't hang on to it. And overall, we had a great first half. We were cruising. But I didn't feel comfortable. We all know the Vikings too well to just think that everything was going to be okay. Because most of the times it never is. Defensive collapse was major. That was the first time I've seen that Zimmer defense absolutely fall on its face. And it was going to happen, and we escaped. So hopefully it never happens again, at least in the playoffs. They looked tired. They looked really tired in that fourth quarter. I have not seen that defense breathe and huffing and puffing the way they were in that fourth quarter. And Breeze was Breeze. It's just what you get with Drew Brees, man. He's an insanely talented quarterback, even at his age. The Saints got a gem with him. Saints got a real gem. And much respect to him. Happy birthday to Breeze. I'm filming this on Monday night. And a lot of respect for the Saints. They fought back when a lot of teams would have just packed it in. Especially in the environment they were in. That crowd was rocking. Everything was going against the Saints. The biggest play that saved the Saints in this game, though, was that horse collar tackle on their tackle. I think it was Armstead when he pulled Barr down by the horse collar. If he didn't make that tackle and tackle Barr, Barr's going for 6, and it's 24-0. And then I really do think the game would have been over. I don't think the Saints would have came back from that. But because he made that tackle, we didn't score on the next drive. We had to punt. So he saved his team points. Why take a penalty like that, give us an extra 10 or 15 yards, but it gives your defense a chance to come out on the field and make a stop. And that's what's important, is giving your team a chance. But I think I'm going to leave it there, guys. I just, I'm still processing everything in my head. And we have another game to play this week. Like, we have the NFC title game with a chance to go back home for the Super Bowl. It doesn't get any better than that. And I really hope we come out better this week. It's probably going to be cold. It's probably going to be a hard field. Going to be slipping. Nick Foles versus Case Keenum. If you'd have told me that at the beginning of the year, that would have been an NFC title game matchup of quarterbacks, I would have called you the craziest man on the planet. But here we are. And our dream is still alive. We can still do this. This season can still be one for the record books for us. It already is. I feel like that Diggs catch erased a lot of demons, but not all of them. Our demons will not be erased until we win a Super Bowl. And if we do that this season, all is well. Everything in the past is forgiven. All right, guys. Thanks for listening. I'll post another video midweek talking about Eagles Vikings. Then Friday, Saturday, I'll post my predictions and breakdown. And then I'll see you after the game on Sunday. Good or bad, I'll be here. I was fully preparing to what I was going to say on camera, after that game, after we blew that lead. I wasn't looking forward to it. I was not looking forward to coming in front of this camera, But, hey, we're still here. We're still fighting. I can't wait for this weekend's game. And thanks, everybody, for the support. We'll see you on the next episode of Skol Chat. Bye, guys.